Hi guys, my name is Jin, aka SunXJin on Instagram, and today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about something very dear to my heart. Money. No, not money. Photography. Photography is what I meant. Photography. So today's video is all about making money doing what you love at university, and for me, that was taking photos. Photography is something that I've always been quite interested in, but it wasn't really until year 2 of university that became a bit of a side hustle. And year 2 me was okay at taking pictures, but very bad at making money from it. It wasn't until the next few years that I took my business model and developed it, and most importantly, I tailored it to the university experience that I was able to make the most of it. And now I just take a few jobs every year, and from those few jobs I make a few £1,000s every year. In this video I'm going to share with you my 5 main streams of income as a photographer and the tips and philosophies behind each one of those processes. Here are the timestamps if you want to skip to a specific part of the video. And you might be watching this and you're like, that's all good and great, but I'm not a photographer. Well, you can almost take anything I say in this video and apply it to whatever you love doing. Whether that be making music, whether that be performing for people, whether that be cooking food or origami. Anyways, without further ado, let's jump into our first topic, which is event photography. So if you're looking to shoot events at university, there's 2 key dates that you have to mark down in your calendar right now. And that is the end of semester number 1 and end of semester number 2. Go to your university website, get those dates, because they are the biggest jackpots of the calendar year. End of semester 1 equates to the Christmas ball, and end of semester 2 equates to the end of year ball. During those dates, there are hundreds of societies and thousands of students looking for a photographer to capture what's going on. If you think about it, each one of those 4 tickets costs, I don't know, £50 to £100 per customer. And if maybe like 10% of each ticket is finding its way to you, then you are rich, my friend. You are rich. But a little bit more on pricing in a little bit. I'm going to talk about perhaps one of the hardest parts of the business, which is securing your first job. You're sat there wondering, who's going to hire me? I've had no job, I have no experience in the field. And I'll tell you who is going to employ you. Other university students. Too much event money in their hands and so much to be stressing about that what they don't need is a photographer. What they need is a friend. And much like everything else, it's all about knowing the right people. So get yourself out there and get to know like the heads of these societies. And once you do get that first job, make sure you keep building on that relationship. Those societies are going to return to you. They're going to be returning customers if you provide what they want, because they know you're going to keep providing and they don't want the hassle of having to go try out a new photographer. And on the topic of building your brand's reach and getting your first job, make sure you have a Facebook page, because each one of these uni societies are running their going-ons via Facebook, and the first place they're going to look is through Facebook as well. Make sure you're on there. Now back into pricing, I have a little kind of strange viewpoint when it comes to this, and essentially I want to almost being the key word, almost price myself out of being the photographer. What that means is I almost want to set myself at a price point where the client might have to consider a different photographer. Now there's a number of reasons for this. Number 1, I really value my time at university. I truly believe that it's probably going to be the best time of my life, and I don't want to spend it maximizing my income and my revenue and how much I'm going to make. I want to spend it enjoying just general life, just chilling sometimes. And I'd much rather get paid maybe like £500 for one job and miss out on another one than get paid for 2 jobs at £250 each. Second of all, I want you to understand that no one cares about your art or your work as much as you do. And if you don't value your time and your energy and your artistry, then no one else is going to either. And word gets around very quickly. You either become known as the cheap photographer or the premium photographer. And I'd much rather be known as the premium photographer. And at the end of the day, if the pricing isn't working out for you, it's much easier to drop your rates in the future than to raise your rates. People are gonna come to you expecting a certain rate and be like, why are you charging me more? And also on topic of pricing and payments, I want to talk about deposits. Please make sure you take deposits before the day you actually shoot. Deposits essentially are a promise to both yourself and the customer. The promise that you're getting some money, and the promise to the customer that you're locking down that date for them, that you're not going to schedule anything else during that time, you're not going to be distracted. And when you're discussing payment, make sure you establish what the customer wants. Establish whether you're going to provide them with edited photos or raw photos, whether you're going to provide them with maybe 50 photos or 100 photos, And this is really important when it comes to the day of shooting as well, because if you only promise maybe 30 photos for an event, you don't need to be capturing every little moment. You just need to capture the 30 highlights of the event. One final little tip that's going to increase your Facebook page outreach even more, and that's when it comes to the end and you're sharing the pictures on social media, agree to post the pictures on your Facebook photography page rather than the society's page. What this means is that your photography page is going to be broadcasted to so many people. All the people tagged in the picture and all of their friends and friends of friends as well are going to see your photography page's name. That's exposure that even Facebook targeted ads can't buy. And good photographers need to know about getting good exposure. Am I right? I'll see myself out. Okay, so time for income stream numero dos, and that's portrait photography. Portrait shoots are honestly such a fun way to make money because you can still be creative with it, you can still engage one-on-one with another human being, and there's a lot of freedom in what you can create, whereas there's not so much with event photography. Again, how to start off in taking pictures for portraits. A portfolio is quite important when it comes to portraits, and I was lucky enough that I had a decent enough group of attractive friends that I could take their pictures, have fun with it, and use that as my portfolio. Otherwise, I'd suggest going on Instagram. There's plenty of models looking for someone to capture them, and I suggest sliding in some DMs. But make sure you're doing some responsible DM sliding. You want to be quite professional about it, respectful. Make sure you outline what they're going to get out of it, i.e. photos, and what you're going to get out of it, portfolio photos. And then onto the customer base. And for me, there was one specific audience that earned me a lot of money, and that was international students. International students in Edinburgh are very big on making sure they have a popping social media. They're also very big on having rich dads. So make sure you capitalize on that. Whatever market in your university has a little bit more money, a little bit more clout searching, make sure you target them. And in terms of key dates, make sure you're at your university during graduation times, because all students, regardless of who they are, will get quite sentimental, quite nostalgic, and want to document what their experience in university is going to be like. So it's a great opportunity to pick yourself up a few portrait jobs. Again, I want to establish the importance of word of mouth, especially when it comes to portrait photography, because most people aren't comfortable with getting their photo taken, especially when it's one-on-one with a stranger. So make sure you're doing a good job with your portrait shots so that they'll put in good recommendations to their friends. Okay, on to income stream number 3, and that is selling prints. This is potentially my favourite source of income because once you've taken the photo, uploaded it onto your print shop, it's just sitting there, earning you money, passive income. It means you don't have to do anything more and money is just coming your way. In terms of a print shop, I know a lot of photographers will be like, you have to have a website for your business to be respected by clients. I think that's true if your clients are companies, but I'm not sure that's so true when your clients are the university students. University students like the idea of products produced by an independent supplier, by someone who's up and coming. So I recommend making a post advertising your prints on Facebook or Instagram, whatever's popping more for you. So on to how much you should price your prints at, and some great advice I got from an older photographer is that demand for prints is fairly inelastic. What that means, throwing it back to my GCSE economics, is that once someone wants your print, it doesn't really matter how much you charge, it's not going to affect their decision that much. You're not going to be able to convince someone to buy your print with a low cost. Whereas if someone really wants your print, the price doesn't matter so much to them. You can charge a premium and it's not going to affect their decision too much. Okay, on to income stream number 4, and it's something a little bit more advanced. It's working with brands and companies. And with companies, you really do need a website, you need a solid portfolio to showcase your previous work. But if you don't have a website and you're looking to create one, then I really recommend Squarespace. I'm kidding guys, you don't have to use Squarespace. I'm not big enough to be sponsored yet, but you best believe when Squarespace comes with that money, I will be recommending them. You also need to get good at creating a media kit. This is one that I've produced. You need to make sure that it showcases your best work, showcases examples of when you've been paid before. If you're going out your way to approach companies rather than being approached by the company, then you need to make sure you email and message absolutely everyone in the industry that you're going for. The industry that I found the most work in Edinburgh is the hotel industry, just because of my background in travel photography. And if you email absolutely everyone in the industry, the chances are maybe only one or two will engage in a conversation with you. And although you might be sending tens and hundreds of emails, you need to make sure that each email feels unique and special to the company you're sending it to. You want to make them feel like... I haven't dwelled too much on contracts and invoices in this video, but it's something that you have to make sure you have when it comes to companies. Maybe not so much when you're dealing with other students, because it always gets to a point where you might scare other students by forcing contract in front of them. But with companies, they've got lawyers, you don't have lawyers. You need to make sure you have contracts. And my final income stream, social media influencing. As much as I hate the word influencer, it's what the industry is looking for right now. I'm only going to glance over this quickly because there's so much to go into. And if you think you might not have enough followers to be considered influencer, I hate the word influencer so much. It's okay, companies are looking for micro influencers. And by micro, I mean
teeny tiny influencers
who have pockets of influence over the people around them. Honestly, in Edinburgh, I see people with like 1,000 followers maybe, getting deals with Top Man and like established companies. And most people at university might have close to 1,000 friends on Facebook. So yeah, put yourself out there on Instagram. Make sure you're approaching companies and seeing if there's any opportunities waiting for you. Okay, that's been a lot of information. I have talked about a lot of different subjects, but I hope you get a gist of just trying to make sure you find the right customer, make sure you find the right price, and make sure that you establish yourself through word of mouth, through social media. In this video, I've been zooming around super fast, talking about different topics, making sure you get the most bang for your buck in this YouTube video. But if you want me to delve into any of the topics a little bit more in depth, then let me know in the comment section down below. I'll be putting out new videos about photography and about being a student every single week. So make sure you subscribe. And other than that, I've been your boy Jin, and go out and make some money. No, I'm not gonna make it rain.